Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, each and every one of you, whichever part of the world you are calling in from. I hope you are as excited as I am to be welcoming Lando Norris himself for this very short conversation that we wanted to have and share it in front of all of you. So for those of you who do not know, we at Mastercard have had the privilege, and we are so proud of having entered into a partnership with McLaren. And last year, you know that McLaren had won the Constructors' Championship after 26 years, which is absolutely phenomenal. And the way they won it, and I happened to be in Abu Dhabi at the time, and I'm fairly new to this whole sport, but I was sitting there biting my nails away till the very last minute, and then I understood what these guys should actually be going through. It's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So, Lando, firstly, thank you very much. All the time, actually, it's a privilege and a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
On any Mastercard forum. So delighted to have you here. Thank you. Let me ask you, my first question.
Yeah.
Like I said, McLaren last year had won after 26 years for the first time. Mm-hmm. And the last race in Abu Dhabi was literally, it's a nail-biting finish line. And when Oscar got knocked out in the first few seconds of the race, the whole thing was on your shoulders. And you could have made or broken the Constructors' Championship for these guys. Now, that is some incredible pressure.
It was.
How do you manage that?
Yes, it's a good question. First of all, hello to everyone. It's a good memory, so I like thinking of these memories because they're great ones. At the time, I didn't know exactly where I had to finish, where Oscar had to finish, all of these things, which was a good thing because I probably would have thought about it too much, and I knew all I had to do was win. That's like, for me, that was the only focus, of course, but there was a lot of pressure. I knew Ferrari was second and third behind me for the majority of the race. I was expecting and just hoping that I would just drive off into the distance and have a nice, easy one. But Carlos was within 2 seconds the whole of the first stint. And that's when you almost want a nicer gap because then you're going into the pit stops and things can get even more nerve-wracking, right? So for me, it was just concentrate on what I'm doing. Just do what I normally do, because what I normally do is good. Keep putting in consistent laps. Biggest thing is just to not make mistakes. I can not push to 101%, but the main thing is to not make the mistakes. And there was a lot of pressure. I knew what I had to do. But there was pressure on myself and the whole team, because we had to get the strategy right. We had to do the pit stop. Carlos boxed the lap earlier, so we had to cover him in the pit stop. And that was the biggest moment, because that's the one where I'm like, if I brake a bit too late and I go long into the pit stop, the mechanics will have to move. We might lose 0.5 of a second, half a second, and that could be it. That could have made me come out the pits.
That would have made a difference potentially.
That could have made a difference. Carlos would have had DRS and he could have passed me. So I knew everything I also had to do was perfect. I had to hit my marks. The mechanics had to do their job, and they did an amazing job.
They got it in 2 seconds?
They got it in 2 seconds. So it was the best one of the race from the team, under probably the most pressure
at the most
I would say they've
time.
had in the last, as long as I've been with McLaren, so the last 8 years. This was the one they had to get right, and they did. And it shows how much of a team effort it is, which was incredible. But then we started the second stint, and Carlos is still there, but it was a bit more of a comfortable stint. The pace was very strong, and of course, there's a lot of celebrations and everything after. So it was a nerve-wracking race, and a lot of it, I think, just comes with experience. I remember my first few races in Formula One. I was crazy nervous and was just thinking of everything. I can't miss this, I can't miss it. You almost overthink everything, and you make it worse for yourself. With time, you learn, I don't need to think about this so much, and you put it to the back of your mind. I don't need to think about this, back of your mind. And you can just focus on, okay, my next job is the start. That's all I need to think about. And then naturally, your mind will bring up the things you need to think about later on. And I think that's where experience plays a big role, is just with nerves and pressure and dealing with these things. But I knew I could do it. All I had to do was just stay relaxed, drive like I normally do, and things would go the way they did.
And you did it.
And we did it.
Which is absolutely astoundingly good. In fact, as I said, I had the privilege of being with your team, along with some of Mastercard's guests at the place. And when you had, just crossed the flag, my God, the whole group erupted. They were crying, they were hugging each other, and my God, that was, if there was one priceless moment,
that was it.
That was it.
I think that's one of the most special things, though, right? It's sharing it with everyone.
Exactly.
If I cross the line and there's no one to celebrate it with, then it's a bit like, what's the point?
I know.
But when you see the whole team, all of our partners, when they're all there to witness this and be part of it and to feel it, that's what makes it memorable and such a crazy, cool experience. And priceless, because you can't just ever go to a place by accident and just go, oh, we won. You can't just experience that kind of thing. This is a unique experience. So not only was it priceless for you, but for me, for every single one of us.
And for the fans too.
And for the fans.
I know, right? The people are rooting so much. I don't know this data, I'm sure you know much better than anybody else, but for the audience's sake, when we did our research, McLaren was actually the most loved amongst all the brands in the F1 space, which was really cool.
Yep.
And one of the criteria why we also wanted to get closer to you guys and have the partnership. That's one part. The other thing I wanted to ask you, and kind of related to this, is now that you have won Abu Dhabi and you have got the whole constructors race, and everyone knows what your caliber is and what your mental composition is, and you do it brilliantly, right? So the expectations are up there. And both for you, for winning the driver championship, and for the team, for the constructors, again, for the second time, back to back. How are you approaching this?
I think McLaren have been, I would say, a fan favorite for a while. Already some of these surveys came back a few years ago. And with a lot of sports, you get a lot of people who support the team that's always winning. And that is often the case. But even when we were going through a lot of hard times and not doing so well, we still had the best fan base and we still voted as the best team. So that's one great thing. Now we're winning and we still have the best fan base. It's a perfect combination. So that's amazing. And that's the one thing that always motivates you a bit more is your fans, is the people who are there to support you, cheer you on, because they're also part of the whole quest and journey with you, right? So that's one bit. But two is, because you have more people with you, there's more expectation, there's more people that are wanting you to do well. And that puts, again, a bit more pressure on you going, okay, I want to do well for this person, I want to do well for this person. And you don't want to let them down. I think it's the biggest thing. It's not the fact that you just want to do well, you just don't want to let them down. And now that we won the championship, as a team, we want to do it again. And I think one thing the team have done very good at is the knowledge of this. They want to do it again, but it's not to get complacent. Now it's not that's what can happen very easily to a lot of athletes or anyone in the world almost, is once things start to go well, you can easily relax and it can drift away from you very quickly. I think one thing we've realized as a team is now we're there, we want to make it easy for ourselves. We want to keep going so that we can win easily these races and not have them as difficult as what they were last year. So the team have remained very focused. It was easy for all of them to get back and just go, we're good, we've done it now, let's just relax. They've done the opposite. They've gone, we want even more. And they've worked even harder to try and find new things for this year. So I think they've turned these expectations into positive things, into more motivation and more drive to want it again. And for myself, as much as I want to win the Constructors every single year, I also want the selfish one is to win the Drivers' Championship. And you need a good team behind you, and I think that's exactly what I've got. I came close-ish last year. I was still always a bit far behind, but I had I could smell it, let's say. I had that feeling of okay, this is kind of what it's like.
It's within reach.
It was within reach. And this year I need to fix a few things, work on some things, and come back stronger, and that's what I'm ready to do.
Which is brilliant. Taking a completely different topic.
Yeah.
Now, we have done research and said, where do people invest typically, right? And one of the interesting things that we discovered about you, but even before I come to you, the investors are putting money in those areas where they're passionate about. Right? So before this whole conversation, we were wondering what your passion was. And we discovered it was gaming was one big part of it, entertainment. So, and we also discovered that you do have investments in those spaces. Can you talk about that?
I'm here to enjoy my life, right? In every aspect of it. The reason I do Formula One is because I love it and because I enjoy it. It's the reason I started go-karting was because I enjoyed go-karting, and the natural thing is then to go up the levels, and I ended up in Formula One. But I've always enjoyed everything I do, and for me, that's the motto of my life, is to try and enjoy everything I do. I'm sure there'll be a time when I don't enjoy it and I don't want to do it anymore, and that time eventually will come. But apart from Formula One, there's many other things that I've loved growing up, and one of them was gaming. One of them now is definitely golf. So I've got investments in both of these areas because I feel like I'm part of it. I can experience it. I can go out and do it. I can work, especially from a golf side, I can go and I get cool opportunities to go and play with some amazing players and great golfers. I get to go to some beautiful
What's
golf
your
courses. It's 11.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Over the new year, I paid a lot and it came down. So it's getting better, but it still needs to be improved. So one of the things is investing in that area. Right. So one of those opportunities was the TGL, which was the indoor golf. And again, you get to feel like you're part of it. You're part of a journey and you're part of something new, something that excites fans. But my one, and the one that I've always enjoyed and is, I would say, mine, is my esports team. And it started, I would say, as an esports team because of my love for gaming and growing up. And especially with driving, I'd drive every single day at home on the simulator. Every single day after school, I would drive. So I had a big love for that. And that's kind of where things started, because we started in COVID when the only thing we could do was be at home and drive on our simulators. And the cool opportunity came up to start a business and to start Quadrant. But also then things have changed. So we started that and we hired some people and we made it a great business, both from a gaming side and also from a clothing side, apparel. And YouTube and all of the entertainment side of things too. So we make videos and all of these things. But times have changed, and I personally have drifted away a little bit from gaming itself, and I like to play a bit more golf and do other things, and meet more people and athletes and things like that. So we've drifted away from gaming, and we've gone now more towards working with different athletes, whether they're in rallying or motocross, skateboarding. We've got some great guys and girls that we work with. So we have Lotto, who's a supercross rider, a motocross. Then we have Solberg, who's a rally driver. All of these things that I want to do, but I think Zach probably doesn't allow me to do. Then we have a guy called Keegan, who does skateboarding, and he's a gold medalist, double gold medalist now. We have Ivan, who does Moto3, and is in this year into Moto2. And my love growing up was motorbikes before Formula One.
Really?
So I feel like I should stay away from bikes because I feel like I'll be too dangerous. But again, that was my love. And we have all of these guys and these girls who are part of it, and they're living their own journey in their own sport. But as the company Quadrant, we want to be part of that and to help them promote it, help them grow it.
Beautiful.
Share their experiences with our fans as a group. And I want to make, we make content together. Eventually I'll go and do some rallying, and I'll go and do some motorbikes and motocross, and I'll work with these different people. And that's something for me that's very close to my heart, and I enjoy. I love these kind of things. So we're doing that. We've had a full rebrand, and this year we're going to make some big announcements with people we're working with, companies that we're working with, and create some memories again for everyone.
Beautiful. Though this is quite a diverse set of intense activities. It's amazing. Let me ask. In fact, I would love to keep going on and on, but I know I'll be respectful of your time.
No problem.
But last question I have, and I don't let any of my guests go without answering this question, which is, what is priceless to you?
What is priceless to me? A lot of things. What is priceless to me? I think the main thing that's priceless to me is is memories with my friends and my family. For me, I'm quite into photography.
Oh, okay.
I'll say I'm into photography for a little bit of the reason because it's artistic and it's cool,
Okay.
but also because it's a permanent memory. It's something I can always look back on and go, I remember these times, you know. So for me, everything is about creating those memories and not living them alone, but sharing them with my friends. So whenever I go away on a trip, I'll always bring as many friends as I can with me.
Okay.
And share that experience with my friends. For me, that's rule number one. The same as when I win a race or we're on the podium or whatever it is. The thing that puts the biggest smile on my face is then seeing the mechanics and seeing all the team just as happy. So for me, it's my priceless moments are sharing my moments and my memories with others.
Beautiful, beautiful. So for the viewers, we have a small priceless surprise to one. My team will figure out how exactly to make that happen and who would notify the winner. And what the winner is going to get is this beautiful, what do you call this?
It's signed, it's like a jersey, isn't it?
It's a jersey.
Signed jersey.
Okay, I call anything which you wear, put it over your head as a t-shirt. I know it's not a t-shirt, that's what I was asking.
It is a t-shirt.
But the special thing in this is it's signed by both Lando as well as Oscar. So really special. So one of you will get it. My team will get in touch with you and they'll make sure that you will have it. So on that, thank you very much for being with us and look out for more of these kind of experiences we will try to curate live in the future in 2025 and beyond. Thank you very much, everyone. And Lando, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.